by way of ensuring that Naxalism, Maoism does not re-emerge in our country. Thank you very much. I'm also right now being joined by RVS Mani. RVS Mani, the roots of Maoism that were particularly concentrated in the regions of Bihar and now Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh and the recently formed Telangana. What was the genesis of it and why was it concentrated in these regions only?
Thank you, Megha. I'll take it from here. See, basically some irrational human rights group like the People's War Group, PUDGL and all that, lot of people, they started off where basically they started kind of left liberals in they are spreading illusion, disaffection among the people of these places where you heard. It started from Telangana area, Adilabad, and later on it spread. See, when the combined Andhra Pradesh started the Operation Greyhound, they ran away to other places. They are very ideologically very strong, and they have very lot of funding from many sources. So they received humongous funding from anti-India groups, and it was nothing in isolation. Naxalism was as much connected on the umbilical cord to the northeast, or because the source of funding was almost same. And they had announced a mission that Pashupati to Tirupati, and on the way all these states come. Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh was the most affected. You heard Mr. Sundar Raj, who in fact we should say thanks to Sundar Raj and his DGP Chhattisgarh and all other police officers who have been relentlessly working on it. They have faced the toughest challenges. This fellow called Madvi Hidma is actually he was a very extremely terror-stricken Naxalist who had caused the Dantewada massacre, the Sukma, and so many places. Chhattisgarh, the terrain was also a challenging terrain. Similarly, go to the upper part of now it is in Telangana and also now Eluru. It had been spreading. It has been spreading up to Idukki in Kerala. But now, Honorable Home Minister, basically what was resolved was the resoluteness of the Honorable Home Minister, who has promised that 31st March 2016, I will not leave one Naxal, and all these coordinated efforts, the interagency coordination, the local police are being empowered and not digressing into certain failed experiments of the past. And also the COBRA, it's known as the Combined Battalion for Resolute Action, is known as COBRA. It's a part of the like the RAF. This is also a vertical of the CRPF. They are specifically trained in these type of terrains. Along with that, earlier it could not take off because of the lack of development. But now Chhattisgarh has seen a lot of development in the last 10 years or so. The accessibility, the Naxals could always get into their hideouts in the forest, deep forest areas, which have all become accessible, so they are much easier to trace. Same is the case. Andhra Pradesh always has a very better infrastructure and accessibility, mobility issues. So now this group, which 7 people who have been killed in Eluru and other places in Andhra Pradesh, there is a lot of resoluteness. So this is what gives me confidence that I think Honorable Home Minister will certainly achieve what he has promised, that by 31st March 2016, there will be no Naxalism in the scourge of Naxalism will be removed from the country, Indian map. That is my full confidence I have. That's what I wanted.
Venkat Narayan is also on the telecast with me. Venkat Narayan, keeping in mind that the majority of the Naxalites who have been wreaking havoc in the country have now been neutralized. It has been brought under control of the police in our country. And I was asking the same question about those who have surrendered their weapons, who want to be assimilated into normal life, into society. Do you think it is a challenge for the police, for the government, for the administration to ensure this process is seamless and also ensure that Naxalism does not return into a peaceful environment that has been painstakingly created?
Megha, at one point of time, about a quarter century ago, 200 districts across India in the Dandakaranya, from Pashupati to Tirupati, the 10 to 50 to 20,000 young people, call them misguided or unemployed or ideologically brainwashed or whatever, were active. It is down to a few hundred, and as Mr. Amit Shah says, by next year he wants to wipe out Naxalism from the face of India. Several reasons are responsible for this, Megha. In 2003, Naxals tried to kill Chandrababu Naidu, in Alipiri near Tirupati, and soon thereafter he survived that brutal assassination attempt, and he set up the Greyhounds and made a young officer called Mr. Dora the head of the institution, and he gave confidence to the police and even people at large, so that they could gain intelligence, and they realized that the government was very serious and so on. So a lot of people were either neutralized or were persuaded to give up a violent life in the forests, in the jungles, and come and join the normal people. Several things have happened. One of them is that since 1991 we have economic reforms. Education is reaching even in remote areas, and so there is no incentive for young people to take up arms, because they're happy. They've been doing this for more than a quarter century, and so they got fed up with the life in jungle without any amenities. They're happy to surrender their weapons and join the mainstream life. And some of them are even fighting elections in places like Bihar. Now it has been reduced mostly, and I think during the past several years, nearly 5,000 Naxals have given up weapons and joined, normal civilian life, and the governments in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and elsewhere have provided, facilities and monetary assistance to help the Naxals, to rehabilitate themselves and, take up some jobs or that sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
as a result, Naxalism has come down drastically. It is only active in parts of Chhattisgarh, Odisha forest, and Telangana has only a residual number of Naxals were active, that too on the Chhattisgarh border. And I'm sure, it seems to me that what Mr. Amit Shah has said may become a reality early next year, Megha.
Yeah. Sanjay Sai, former IPS, is also on the show with me. Sanjay Sai, what lessons can be taken with regards to fighting extremism, terrorism in other parts of the country, particularly when we talk about terrorism that emanates from Pakistan, has infiltrated into Jammu and Kashmir and other parts of the country as well. We take a look at Punjab, something similar that at this point of time is brewing, unfortunately, to the concern of the armed forces and the country. Talking also about an extremist ideology that emerged from the northeastern parts of the country as well.
The Naxal body started somewhere in 1960s in West Bengal, and from Naxal body it emanated to lots of other areas which we call as the Red Terror, and with the corridor was created with 170, 80 some odd district, and flourished for a long time. I think one of the panelists was talking about Greyhounds. Greyhounds came into existence way back in 1989. and the efforts were being made since then to the current day. So lots of water has passed all through this last 20, 30 years, and I have been a part of some amount of operations here and there. In 2013, I was the election observer in Kanker. And from Raipur till the other end, I think it was some 250 kilometers, and we used to move as per the line of sight. Kanker had 3 assembly segments, and the large part of the Kanker, it was not accessible at that particular point in time. I'll start with the first point is where the development did not reach or development did not happen. And there was a complete vacuum. All these areas have been extremely backward and government did not make effort. There are areas still in Chhattisgarh which are not on the survey maps and which is not on your Google map. So slowly in areas where there was no government presence or very little nominal presence, this Naxalites started moving in and gaining control. There were areas where there was no control of the government, and in the large parts wherein these people, they used to come as an intermediary of the government and they used to tell the public that we are bringing development. So literally this was the thing which went on with huge amount of battle. It was literally a battle of attrition. Some areas were under the government control, some areas went to Naxalite control. This situation went on. I have seen it. I was just after Dantewada attack. We had the All India Police Science Congress in Raipur. And there's a totally different sort of an environment. What has happened in the recent past is that some element of development has started getting in. Plus, there is a very integrated sort of approach to security operation, intelligence sharing, and development, all working side by side. And it has been persistently and consistently pushed forward, more so in the last 2 years. Might be the last 8 years or 10 years. Prior to that, so the operations were going on at the police level and at the coordinated level, and CRPF and paramilitary forces have been in that area since ages. Now, once it reaches what we call as the inflection point, at that particular point in time, the whole resource of Government of India through its different agencies and states also co-opted into it, led to this particular change. Now, as we move further, I think still there are elements left from 140, 50 or whatever might be the number of districts from Tirupati to Pashupati. I think currently, as per the public domain information, it's primarily the number of districts impacted is in single digit. And the total number of big fellows who are still operating might be in the range of say 100 to 150. Basuraj was the ideological brain mastermind, tactical and ideological. His getting killed, and recently Hidma getting killed, who is basically the guerrilla, tactical, IED, explosive and orchestrating ambush expert. I think they have lost the main leaders who have been orchestrating literally anything and everything.
Yes.
And there are people like Gadar and all that. They used to come up with revolutionary songs in Andhra Pradesh, and they used to inspire and motivate people to take the red flag further and against the government. So those things have certainly changed, but it should not be taken as something that they have completely lost. These people have a surreptitious habit of reuniting, reforming and appearing at places you will never even think of. So one is it should be completely eliminated. And the second is there will be a transition period wherein the nature of development and winning over the people, that is very, very important. There was a whole load of population which did not know where to go. Should they go with the government or should they go with the Naxalites? Because daytime there was some administration and nighttime it was Naxalite terror which was operating in that area. So I think a very sustained effort at development where it reaches the last person and the person is satisfied with whatever is being delivered. Roads and communication. So these were the two handicaps. And the Naxalites tried the level base, the roads and communication does not reach those areas where they had gained control. Currently, I think roads and communications, it has revolutionized and most of these areas are certainly within reach and certainly within very competent reach of the governance.
Okay.
So we are at an inflection point. We should not we should not waver at all. Fight till the finish and maintain this development strategy while trying to have your complete intelligence on any nature of regrouping, any nature of outside support, any nature of armed support, and any nature of financial resources being provided to them.
Okay, all right. I'm out of time, but I thank all of you for joining me, sharing your insights into this big successful mission that has been accomplished by the Indian police with the political will of the government. On that note, I slip into a short break. Thanks for watching Newsx.